And Sean Levy, I know people are skeptical on Sean Levy, but he directed several peak episodes of Stranger Things. He directed famously Deadpool and Wolverine, which I love. Um, we know Ryan Gosling can do pretty much anything, but yeah, then the name and the date were the two big things. May of 27, so next year. His name is Cade Oberon. That's a pretty cool name. And they did have a teaser, but that's one of the things that they only showed there. Like it hasn't leaked
One of the
online yet,
reasons why I want to go.
right? And I will say, I don't know. Have you seen the TikTok where Sean Levy tells the story about Tom Cruise? He went to dinner apparently with Tom Cruise, and they were having a conversation. He was talking about filming Starfighter, and he, just a throwaway comment. Hey, if you ever want to come to set, let me know. And he scurried off. And like 3 days later, Tom Cruise called him and said, "Hey, where are you filming at?" And he told him, he said, "Can my helicopter land there?" All right, welcome back. We are here August 25th for our 43rd episode, episode 43 today. What's funny is last week, I think it was last week, I mentioned, hey, whenever we record next week's episode, it's going to be like our 50th episode. However, I did a shadow stealth drop Midnight Reflections that took that 50th episode spot.
And
So
now
this
we're on 51.
yeah. But for the sake of our numerical episodes, this is episode 43, and we've got a little bit of a pivot today. Now, I did a TikTok that kind of explained this because normally we record our episodes usually a week or a few days before, or sometimes we double up or whatever. And our episode last week, whenever we ended that episode, which was talking about our backlogs and new releases, that this week was going to be all things Dragon Ball related. There was no way in hell after D23 that we could not have an episode to talk about all of the things from that event. Like, holy crap. I mean, how many texts did we send back and
Dude,
forth?
there was a lot between that and then my big thing I loved, which Chase will get into it in a minute when he talks about the side quest, but even the park updates with us go because I go to the parks quite often, or at least once a year. Like there's a huge show altogether between the parks, between the interactions, the concerts, the announcements. Like it was,
Yeah.
I love D23.
Well, and we always allude to the fact that when there's big events that we might pivot, and talk about whatever that is. I know we did it for Summer Game Fest and stuff, and and this one just seemed very appropriate, which tells us, what our story mode's going to be today, which is all things, and technically this whole episode is all things D23, but our story mode today, the Disney download, is going to be kind of recapping and talking about everything that came up during D23 with a focus around kind of all of their general Disney movies, and then the Marvel stuff and the Star Wars stuff, and of course for our friend Tim with the Small Time Arcade Cast talking about Kingdom Hearts, which is his Metal Gear, like without a doubt. And then our side quests are going to stay perfectly on brand with what we have today. We have bonus level, which we haven't done in a while, and that's normally a side quest where we talk about something niche that may or may not be related to the story mode topic. But today, bonus level, it is niche focused, but it's park focused. And to Austin's point, talking about all of the different park announcements that came out of D23.
Because
So
there are a
related to
lot.
those. Yeah, good Lord. There's
But
almost
we're
as
gonna
many
kind
of
of move through them
those.
pretty fast.
Yeah.
Well,
And
that's the
then,
thing. With it being one of the big, because there's three big like showcases they do. They do Park One, they do like the animation slash like game and all that together, and then they do just a basic Disney Legend showcase with all the legend or the inductees and like all the
mhm.
special concerts. Like they did the Princess concert this year,
Oh,
and
so good. So good.
yeah,
And then our second side quest is going to be now loading, which nothing real crazy here. We're just going to be ranking our top 10 announcements. between everything that we talk about today.
And
Everything
mine
in
are not in any order because there's some that I don't know. Like I just kind of listed the 10 things that I'm most excited about with the announcements.
Yeah, I always
But
struggle with making orders anyway. So yeah, just 10 announcements. I feel mine will definitely have
mine are
some
pretty close
pinnacles,
to the
but yeah.
mine are pretty close to where I like them, but
Yeah. So all things Disney today, we will revisit our Dragon Ball episode potentially next week, but I think that about does it for the press start. Do we miss
yep.
anything?
No, I think we're good. I think we can start in the story mode.
All right, let's head into our story mode, the Disney download.
Right.
All right.
So let's start animation.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yes, Disney is, animation, Marvel, Star Wars. I mean, they have their hands in freaking everything, but it makes the most sense to start with animation. I agree. And, this is probably like we knew this was coming. Like this wasn't like a surprise announcement. I think some of the things that did come were kind of a surprise, but
Yeah, there's a couple that we'll get to that I'm legit had no idea with.
yeah. But Frozen 3
Mhm.
got formally announced, which again, we knew it was
It had been
coming.
rumored. It had been rumored for a while.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So
And obviously it's
the
been a while since Frozen 2.
I will also say the big thing about this, there was a lot of dates.
Yes. I do love when we get dates for things, which we can't say is always the case for the game stuff that we talk about.
But stuff like this, like these are when Disney gives a date, it's usually a pretty hard date. Like it's
Yeah, I don't see their stuff move very often, with the
well,
exception of Marvel shenanigans.
movies will never move really, except for Marvel, maybe Marvel, but I don't really remember them giving a ton of
Oh, well, yeah,
Marvel
Marvel
dates.
yeah, Marvel, and frankly, with Marvel delays, what comes to mind is Doomsday and Secret Wars. Like, technically, I think Doomsday was supposed to be out last year, and Secret Wars was this year, and then they completely pivoted. But a lot of that had to do with the Kang stuff.
Yeah,
But
so
but yeah, Frozen 3, they announced it with a 2027 release date, so November, which makes sense. Of course, that's going to be like the big holiday movie
mhm.
for for next year.
Well,
And apparently there's a wedding, and we've got some kind of new villain, and obviously, I mean, at least in my mind, Frozen's kind of known for their music. I mean,
let
we
it
had
go.
Let It Go. What was the big track from Frozen 2? Into the Unknown.
Yeah.
And so obviously we'll have something whoop ass in
Yeah,
Frozen 3.
there'll be a good one, and there's usually good music. I mean, even like, I mean, there's all of their Disney movies have one iconic song, you know. So like
Mhm.
Toy Story, Friend with Me, um,
Yep.
Lilo, Hawaiian Roller Coaster Ride. There's just a couple that are immediate off the top of my head, but
Yeah, I think
you get what I'm saying.
I do feel that the OGs had several iconic songs, but all of their new ones, it's basically like one song that the
One
movie was
big
super known
iconic song
for.
that they, yeah.
Yeah. And and then I will say I've seen the trailer for this. I can't remember if we saw the trailer for this in any of the movies that we've seen, but Hexed, that's their
We saw me and Becca saw it on something, and I don't
it was
remember. I
probably
think
Toy
it was
Story.
no, I think it was Toy Story that we saw
Yeah.
it, and she wants to see it because of Haley Steinfeld. But
Exactly. See, I'd seen the trailer and I was excited for it. I mean, any Disney animated movie I'm hyped for. Now, whether I go see it in theaters is always debatable, but so I had seen Hex. I did not know about the casting. And don't get me wrong, animated movies, we always get some absolute just banging freaking castings, but
voice
I
actors,
know
the voice
yeah,
actors are just insane.
yeah, I had no idea that Haley Steinfeld is playing the main character, and I love me some Haley Steinfeld. I mean, first off, her music's great, but she's Kate Bishop in the MCU. Whether we see
Mhm.
her again or not is debatable. But also, she plays Gwen Stacy and Into the Spider Verse movies, and then she's in Pitch Perfect, which I love
Great
those
movie,
movies.
great
Oh
movie.
my god! And then the fact that I guess Jodie Foster, I think it's her first. I think I read it was her first animated Disney movie that she's going to be in. But Jodie Foster is iconic as well, very well renowned actor. And then, dude, I love me some Walton Goggins. And I
Yeah,
guess the way that he came out, I don't think it was known that he was going to be in the movie. because that seemed to be kind of a big deal when Haley had him come out. And I always, I mean, well, obviously he's the ghoul in the Fallout series, but did you watch? I'm sure you did. Did you watch Justified, the TV show Justified?
Uh, I don't remember the other movie he's in, that Tomb Raider movie, the one when we talked about a couple weeks ago, the Amazon one.
Yes, yes, he is. But he was in. He's the main kind of antagonist, I guess, in the show Justified, and then he also was in Sons of Anarchy as well for a bit. So hearing that was really cool. And then apparently, so that's the next one that comes out, because it comes out November 25th of this year. So that's their holiday movie this year. But apparently, when it releases in theaters, there's a new like 3 to 5 minute short film or something with Lilo and Scratch, apparently, and that's interesting. Mainly because I think of their shorts of like what they release on Disney Plus. We've got the group shorts and stuff like that. But yeah, I
Well,
guess heck,
they do that a lot with animated movies. If you remember, sometimes they'll do like a short. It'll be like either before the now it's not Disney, but what I remember the most about it is Pokemon. Pokemon always had the short movie before the real movie. If you would
yeah,
watch it,
yes,
so that's
yes,
what my first thought would be. So,
yeah.
um,
So
but
and
that coming
and
out this year's big.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Um,
that's their big holiday movie this year. Even though we know no one's going to touch, from a holiday movie perspective, no one's touching Doomsday or Dune. But
no, but this will be big for kids for sure.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, without a doubt.
Now the next movie is the one that my boys are going to be excited about because it did have a little bit of a different animation than what the show has. If you did you see the trailer for Bluey?
I did.
It's a
And
little bit of a different animation than the show, but
well,
it's still
what
Bluey.
what it reminded me of is how the Dragon Ball movies have come out in the past, and they all have different animation, and it's
Mhm.
generally more 3D CG, especially like superhero, than what the show has. So obviously, a Bluey movie has a higher budget, and
Well, it's that's what's funny. Well, the other thing is too. So if I remember right, so I don't know how much. Okay, so my kids watch Bluey all the time. Like my son will come down and be like, "Dad, can you turn Bluey on?" And will want me to have Bluey on while he plays down in the basement, whatever.
yeah, even if it's just background noise, yeah,
Yeah, you've seen him do it multiple times.
yep,
Um, well, so the first 3 seasons of Bluey, I think it's the first three. They were not produced by Disney.
right, yes,
They were
that was
produced by
before,
the Australian company that
yep,
owned it.
right,
When it came over, they made there's like the short movies. It's still by the original creators of Bluey, but they're just owned by Disney now.
right,
However, but they had a little bit more budget, so it's like you said when it comes to the budget point. This right here is the budget on this is gonna be insane,
oh yeah, no,
and
this
they probably
the
went from the company they were working for, which I think they actually, if I remember right, I think they actually worked for BBC, so they probably had a big budget. Um,
yeah, but I mean, but a movie that's going to theaters, I mean, instead of a show that's coming,
yeah,
like no, it's just going to have a higher budget, and
well, and
people
it's
affiliate CG 3D animation with higher budgets. I mean,
yeah,
that's just that, whether it's right, wrong, or indifferent is irrelevant. That's just what it is.
so.
I will say I had no idea they were doing a Bluey movie. Like, so that
Oh,
was a surprise.
that was one of them that I wasn't that I had no idea about. Simpsons, on the other hand, I did hear rumors of that one,
Yeah, that one,
and
which
I
I
think they actually
forget.
announced that that was coming, and they just showed more of it at D23.
Yeah, and well, Bluey's date is next year as well. It's August, and then
Yeah,
ironically enough, the next month in 27 September is when they announced that new Simpsons movie.
yeah.
And I forget. I tell you, I
Well,
forget that Simpsons
by
is
the
under their umbrella because of ABC.
by the way, so we've already kind of started getting into the movies, but just so everyone knows that if you had never heard of D23, imagine what we talk about with conference, where we talk about a big giant convention, but everything at this convention is Disney. Like
Yeah,
that's what D23 is. Just to give an explanation of what D23 is, because we didn't do that at the beginning. And I'm
yeah,
sure most of our listeners are gonna know what D23 is, but just if you don't, That's what D23 is. It is a giant convention that is all the big Disney stars are there. Your Disney, like your what they call the Disney Legends, which we'll get to in a little bit. They're there. Um, they have like a giant convention center, and it shows like new products coming out. Like I know they had the live action Grogu that's like $600, or not live action, but
Yeah,
the live movement
right.
Grogu from Hasbro. They have a ton of like props and stuff that they build. It's just a giant convention,
Yeah,
but it's all Disney.
I feel the best comparison is two of them. Yes, the conferences that we talked about that we went to when we were GameStop managers, but the mainstream comparison, think of it as a Comic-Con, but it is only Disney. Like
Yes.
most people know San Diego Comic-Con. Think of it like that, but it's solely Disney.
Yeah, but I forgot to. We
Yeah,
didn't
no, no, no.
explain that,
Good
and that's
point.
something
Good
we
point.
probably should have.
And I didn't put this note down in the Simpsons thing, but I guess there was a panel and somebody asked about if there could be another a new Simpsons hit and run game, and I guess he alluded to the fact that the OG is getting some kind of remaster as well, which frankly Simpsons hit and run was basically Crazy Taxi with a Simpsons paint job, but I know it's a very staple iconic game, but um, now they did have now this one we talked about how a lot of these did announce dates, which they did. The majority of these announced dates, but in this one I don't blame for not having a date. But Zootopia 3 was announced. They had Jennifer
Well,
Goodwin come out and
Zootopia
Ki
2 just came
Kwan.
out what, earlier this year, or was it end of last year?
Exactly, yeah, and that's why I'm not mad about not releasing a date for that because the second one just came out, but they did announce that they're doing a third one, which I still need
Yeah,
to
it
watch
came out
the
end of
third
last year. It was the big.
one.
We talk about how there's an animated movie that comes out at the end of every year for Disney.
And that
That was
was
their last year
Zootopia.
movie.
Yeah.
So,
So, but the fact they're doing a third one, like they're obviously, I mean, we know Disney to do this when there's a property that is insanely successful. They're going to
well,
keep
and
milking it. I mean, not milking it
Zootopia's
in a negative
one.
way, but
Zootopia's one that you can. It's not like where like there's an ending because they just work on a new case, so you do another Zootopia. It's like it's you see what I'm saying? Like it's not a.
yeah, to that point, I feel that we get one more Zootopia movie, and then I think they're going to pivot to a TV
A
show
TV
for
show.
that,
That would
specifically
make
because of
sense.
that.
That
Yes.
would make sense. Where they do like a just a 30-minute quick.
Well, think of it like
Well, the
a
thing is though,
Disney-fied Law& and Order SVU
well,
type
and
thing, you
and
know?
the other thing too is the thing with that though is like they're honestly like they don't their movie spin-off shows, their shows they have a lot of successful shows. I'm not denying
Oh,
that. However, their movie spin-off shows usually don't last but a season or two.
exactly.
So
Yeah.
like Lilo and Stitch, I loved the TV show. Like I thought it was cool where they were catching all the experiments and finding them jobs and stuff like
Right.
that. So, but that was a spinoff that didn't do. I mean, I think it had 2 seasons. Emperor's New School. Do you remember that one?
Yeah. Yep, yep, yep.
Spinoff that it didn't do very
Y
well.
yeah.
I think it had like 1 or 2 seasons, but you get what I'm saying. Like the movie spinoff shows usually are not as good. However, their actual shows
Oh,
do well.
absolute fire. Exactly.
So,
Now looking into 28, they did announce a new animated movie. Now, I don't know if they showed a trailer or anything because I don't remember seeing a trailer for this. Could have been a teaser, but there's a movie coming out in 2028, the end of 2028, but it's called Clay. And again, I don't think they did much with it yet, which if it comes out in 28, that makes sense.
yeah,
However, the
I
lead
hadn't
is,
heard much about it except for
yeah, the
oh
lead's going to
the
be Kieran Culkin, which he's hysterical. I always think of Kieran Culkin. I think of Scott Pilgrim versus the World, but he's apparently in that. He's also in that, I think, not Deliverance, Severance show, I think. I think that's the show that he's in that everyone talks about. It could be a different show, but he's been on people's radar a lot more in the last couple years. So he's going to be heading up that movie Clay that comes out in November of 28, which is interesting to go with an unknown for a holiday movie, but that means they'll probably supplement it
well.
with something else.
So something I didn't realize, but I got to thinking about it. Because we have a couple more animated shows. So I'm talking about Clay. That's the first time I'd heard about it. But I just realized, did you realize that all the live action stuff is coming out first part of the year and all the animated stuff's coming out the back part of the year?
Yeah, and I find it to be interesting that they don't. I feel the best thing that you could do is target the summer for your holiday stuff, kids being out of school and stuff, which they do. They generally have a big summer movie and
Well,
then a big
even
holiday
this
movie,
year,
but
Moana 2. I think Toy Story's the only one that
Toy
because
Story
Toy
was
Story
their
5
summer.
came out.
Yeah, that was their
Well,
summer movie.
so this year, they normally run that model though, but like this year they have Toy Story 5 that just came out. They have Moana 2 that just came out. They have and then they have Hex coming out at the end of the year.
Yeah, I think didn't Moana 2 come out at the end of last year?
Or not Moana 2, Moana live action. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, okay, okay, okay. Yeah, I say
Yeah.
yeah, Moana 2 was 20.
Sorry, Moana
Damn.
live action.
It was 2024 though. I will say
Yeah, it
that's
was the end of the
interesting.
year 2024
I
because
didn't realize
again,
that. But yeah,
running the
live
model
action.
because
Right.
last year was Zootopia.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Yeah.
So,
Uh,
but continuing on with animated before we get into the live action, I just saw that and I was like, wait, that makes sense because
yeah,
if you
yeah.
think about it, that's how it's always been. Because I think the Lilo and Stitch live action came at the beginning of the year
Yeah,
last
it
year.
did. Yeah, I think so. I think it was like
So,
February or something.
but they announced Incredibles 3. Which it took so long between Incredibles 1 and 2. I'm surprised they came out with 3 so well, but 2 still did really good. So,
Yeah, this was one I didn't know about until you had told, whenever we were texting back and forth and you told me about it. Now, it's another one that's pretty far out. It's going to be no summer of 2028. So it's not next year, it's going to be the year after, which makes sense when you hear about the slates that they have. Frozen is next year. So that's
yeah,
going to be their huge thing. But this Incredibles, I guess, really is going to focus on the kids
which would
very
make sense.
specifically. Yeah.
It
Oh,
makes
yeah.
sense. It's because what they're gonna do is now they start focusing on the kids, and then you either do the spinoff show like you were talking about with the kids doing stuff, or they do a fourth movie and the parents are old and gray and you know what I mean, and
Exactly.
they're the
Exactly.
superheroes now. So
Right. Right.
this um this next one though, I loved Coco. So Coco 2,
Yeah.
which we're gonna get into that a little bit more when we get down into Kingdom
Kingdom
Hearts.
Hearts. Yeah.
But
No, I
Coco, I loved Coco.
yeah,
I'm
they,
I don't remember watching the trailer for that or seeing much the Coco 2 trailer. They
they,
didn't really
they
show
didn't,
much. They
they
just
didn't have
announced it.
one.
But
Yeah.
I'm really curious on what they're gonna do because Coco was one of those like it was a very start to finish. Like it's not really open ended on the end
Yeah.
because of what it
No,
was.
it
So
because of the Kingdom Hearts stuff that we'll get to, like I need to watch Coco because I've never seen it. But
great
yeah,
movie.
they announced Coco too, but it's November of 2029,
Yeah.
so it's super far out. So they didn't have anything to show unless they showed something like
Well,
only there
I
because I
figured
think
they
there was a
would show
couple.
something like show just the dad or the
y-
kid or just show
Yeah,
Miguel is his
they
name, I believe.
um they did have some content that they showed only two people there, so maybe they showed something for Coco, but I'm not sure on that one. I'm gonna skip the next one real quick though because I think well okay it doesn't have this isn't all animated but while we're on an animated kick
Yeah.
Ice Age. Now I didn't realize Ice Age was under the Disney umbrella for some reason,
I believe it's DreamWorks. Is that
but is
right?
it a collab with Disney or something like that?
Disney bought them.
Oh, okay,
I
okay,
mean, Disney
maybe.
owns everything, so.
Yeah, that's true. But no, that one's February of 2027. So
So, and the
I
cool
mean
thing
that's a
about
few months
uh,
away technically.
cool thing, or no, it says it's 20th Century Fox, so it's Fox.
Oh, that's why. Fox.
Yeah.
Okay.
But what
Gotcha.
I was gonna say is they have some of the original characters coming back too.
As they should.
Yeah.
As
Which,
they
well,
should.
a lot of them like because I think Queen Latifah's coming back and reprising her role,
Yeah.
which I don't know if I've heard of her in anything
Lately.
in
Yeah. She had a big
maybe
TV
10
show.
years.
Well, she had a big TV show that may or may not still be on the air. She was doing The Equalizer, which I heard was really good. I just
Oh,
never
she
watched it.
was.
Yeah.
But you have John Leguizamo coming back to
Yeah.
do Sid. You have Ray Romano coming back to do Manny. Like I said, Queen Latifah's coming back to be Ellie. Diego's coming back with Dennis Leary.
Yeah.
So,
And that's you know what? That's why I didn't
um,
realize it was under the Disney umbrella because
according to
of
this,
Fox.
J Lo.
Really?
So, which means she's gonna voice probably a new animal because it just says Jennifer Lopez is a cast, so it doesn't say her character. She'll voice a new one,
Yeah. But
which
yeah, so
she'll
that'll
probably be.
be
She won't be a villain because that wouldn't make sense for J Lo to be a villain. I don't think
it could, but you're right, probably not. I mean,
so.
but
But now, did you like Ice Age? Like, did you watch all of them?
I watched the first one and maybe
The little
the
squirrel
second.
chasing the nut, best thing in the movies.
Well, what's funny about that is so the Call of Duty beta is out this weekend, and I just sent a picture to Austin earlier this morning. I was very proud of myself because, as we've
He does it
established,
one time.
I know, I know. I suck at Call of Duty. We've established that. But I had a match where I went 23-5. I was very excited. So I took a picture before the scoreboard went away and sent it. And Austin's response was, a blind squirrel finds a nut every now and then. So to the point of scratch, he's not blind, but I had,
And they
I
did
had,
a whole skit with him. He had his own little short.
yes, yes. So, but no, I really enjoyed those. So I'm kind of glad that they've got another one
Mhm.
coming out. Now they did. Now looking at kind of live action, because I think the rest of these, for the most part, maybe one more
Yeah,
that's not live action, but the bulk of these are live action, Disney specific. They announced live action Lilo and Stitch 2, which I still need to watch the first live action. I just haven't watched it yet.
it was good.
Um,
It was it
that
was it was actually really good. I love they did Stitch fantastic in that.
yeah, I was glad like when seeing the trailers and stuff, and the
Well,
fact that they
even
went 1-to-1 was great.
so they announced Angel in this one, and Angel, the
Yes.
little clip of Angel that you see, Angel looks really good. Like the
Yeah.
CGI nowadays is just insane.
Well, I was skeptical when they announced Lilo and Stitch because, and I get that Stitch is an alien and not an actual animal, but in every live action Disney movie where they've had animals and they've done CG, they they look kind of like shit. My brain goes to the live action Little Mermaid, like the fact that Sebastian and Flounder were just a flounder fish and a freaking crab. Like it's just like the live action Lion King. There was because they wanted to make it as real as possible. There was no emotion, therefore it didn't resonate the way that the animated did. But Stitch, I feel like they made it a point to keep it like 1-to-1, and it just looked really really good.
Yeah. So hopefully they continue that when they do Lilo and Stitch too.
Yeah,
So the next one I've definitely seen, but I'm kind of indifferent. Like it was one
yeah,
of them that it came on Disney on Friday, so I'd watch it like whenever
yeah.
after it had been out a while.
Right
But uh,
now, yeah. It this is another one they didn't have a date for. Just confirming that it is in fact in pre-production or whatever. But Princess Diaries 3. And I'm the
Anne
same.
Hathaway.
Yeah, I've seen these. It's just been a very long time, but it does have it's got Anne Hathaway in it, and Anne Hathaway
I don't think you
is
could make that movie without her though.
no, 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 no. Now apparently, and again, I don't remember the specifics, but her mom in the movies was Julie Andrews, and Julie Andrews
Well, it
has
wasn't her mom; it was her grandma.
oh yeah, okay, okay.
But the only
Um,
reason because that's what like if she was the queen of what Geneva is it Geneva?
I think yeah, or something
Yeah.
like that.
So because her mom never told her.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But she is not going to be returning as of right now, apparently. Now, I assume she'll pop up at some capacity, but
She's just
um
not going to be a focal point.
yeah, but Anne Hathaway is amazing. She to me is one of we've had that conversation in the past about like the death of the movie star, because of the way people are so accessible now and they do TV and they do movies and blah blah blah. But Anne Hathaway is one of those that I mean, she's done so many different things. I don't know if she's touched a TV show like some of these other very big names. So I kind of put her in a very high regard in everything that she does. Plus, she was in the Odyssey. We both saw it recently. It was amazing. So props to Anne
She
Hathaway.
was in
Again,
there.
no date, just super far off.
So now the next one, this is gonna be good. I think I
Oh,
actually think
dude.
this is one that they can definitely do a live action adaptation and do well as long as they do well with Oh, was it Pascal? Is that her?
Oh yeah, the little
Well, the
chameleon thing.
chameleon.
Yeah, we
Um,
haven't seen any clips of Pascal. That's a good point. I didn't think about that.
but live action Tangled.
Yep.
Tangled's gonna be good. So, which you didn't see a clip of it, but you saw them kind of in costume because they were on the production set the other day. Now, I did see something where they showed her like with her hair, and it's like, I mean,
Yeah,
it looks like it's supposed to.
I've seen a lot of production leaks. It's March 31st of 2028, so their spring movie. The casting on this seems to be flawless. In my mind, Catherine Hahn as Mother Gothel is the only casting, and they nailed it. The guy, I remember wanting that guy as Flynn Rider. Not that I was super familiar with him, but I remember seeing him on some of those
He
Disney.
looks like him.
Yeah, but I think one of the big things with Tangled is, and like when they announced it, is, and that's why we have so much footage. It's kind of like when they were filming Spider-Man Brand New Day, we got a lot of behind the scenes footage because they were on location. They weren't doing green screen stuff in studios. That's what they're doing. They're in Spain filming in Spain. That's why we're getting a lot of behind the scenes looks, which more people need to do this. This is why I
Well,
love Christopher Nolan because he does almost everything practical. Like,
and that's what. Did you see where they did? Do you watch Reacher? Right.
yeah, I have not started the new season yet
I
though.
haven't seen the new season. That's not what I was talking about. So Alan Richter came out afterwards and put a
Alan Richson.
Rixton. That's what it is. I said
Yeah.
the name wrong, but he came out afterwards and he just put it on. It was on. I think I saw it on TikTok because they didn't tell everybody where they were filming at, but they had it like they had took over a town basically.
Yes.
And did you see this?
I saw that interview, and ironically enough, right after I saw Walton Goggins because they did the same thing for Fallout, where they basically took kind of a
Yeah, and he
town
took his
to keep
mask
it
off
to
and
keep it localized and stuff. Yeah,
yes.
and that's the thing.
I
Going
just wanted to
on
bring. I
site.
like that type of filming. Like
No,
they're
agreed.
doing. Well, talking about that. Why am I mind just from like the guy that's being seen at Cracker Barrel a bunch, um, in Shepherdsville. He's filming. He's always in Adam Sandler movies.
David Spade.
Uh, no, well, he's one of them because he's been here too. It's
Yeah,
Nick
Swardson.
Swartzen, Nick Swartzen.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
apparently, so they're kind of doing the same thing because they're doing all their filming somewhere in Shepherdsville. They're taking over Shepherdsville basically and doing stuff in
yeah,
Shepherdsville.
yeah. Which
So, which
the,
is cool
when
because that's local.
when there's not leaks, I get concerned on the realistic aspect of it. But I mean, we'll always see, when things shake.
Yeah,
But yeah. Now this one is technically is animated, so I didn't loop it into the other one, but no trailer or anything like that. But another spring of 28. There's going to be a movie. It's identified as Pixar's first ghost movie.
it is because they've never made one like this.
Yeah, and it's called Ghost Street.
Well,
So,
but they brought it out as Ghost Market.
uh, okay, okay,
So, and they did show a very small clip of this.
okay.
Um, I didn't watch all the way through it because it was so far out. I was kind of waiting, but it basically like from what I saw of it, it was a kid sitting there with a bowl and a ghost pick like the bowl just levitates.
Gotcha. Okay, okay.
So but they don't do that's not something Disney does. Disney doesn't do a scary factor of anything,
Right. Well, they've been
like
with them buying up every studio. Now they're starting to dabble in stuff.
yeah. So well, I mean, I think the closest that they've gotten to it would be Coco when
Oh yeah,
because they go to
Day of the
the other side
Dead
of
and
the
all
Day of
that.
the Dead, other side of the world, stuff like that. But
Right.
that's just a culture thing. That's not really like a scary thing. You see what I'm saying? Like that's
Right.
not really, and it's just how it is.
Yeah.
But um, then going on to the next thing, Oswald, the miniseries. That's pretty cool in my
Yeah.
opinion.
I had to
So
Google. I had to Google this because John Favreau, came out and made a big deal about it, and I was like, okay, I've heard this, but I don't know. And then I saw the rabbit, and I was like, oh, okay, we're going nostalgic, like super old school. But the fact that Favreau is doing it, I mean, we know that Favreau is kind of golden on the things that he touches. But yeah, miniseries. So I assume it's going to be like the shorts, kind of like a group thing or something like that, which is pretty cool. But the fact that it's February of 27, so it's a pretty quick turnaround. When you think about when they've brought about at D23 and then when it releases.
Yeah. The other one, but that's just something cool they did. It's back on animated. But then the Percy Jackson season 3. I'm behind on the show, but I love these books. Like I've read
I,
all these books.
yeah, see, we know I don't read, but I liked the movies, the two movies that they did. I was a big fan of.
Yeah,
I
I was really
haven't.
upset that they didn't continue the movie series. But then they did this, and like this is
I've
pretty
heard it's
good. Like,
really good, and I haven't watched
well,
it yet.
the
But the
biggest complaint
casting in
that
it's
people
really
had,
good.
that's what I was gonna say. The biggest complaint that people had with the movies versus the show, they're pretty young in it. I think they're like 12 or 13 in the book at the start of it, and they age with it. Whereas I think in the movies, I think the kid was already like 16.
So he aged too quick, kind of thing.
Yeah, I think I feel like that's how it was, but it's been a long time since I've read them. I read them in high
Right.
school, which was, if I was saying you read them in high school, that'd
Don't
be 40
don't
years ago.
you
Um,
asshole! I knew it as soon as you said that.
but
But I do need to watch it. And the fact there's a new season coming out,
yeah,
maybe I've got this spontaneous work trip coming up. Maybe that's what I do. I binge the show. Um, and the last thing, kind of under the mainstream Disney umbrella, is The Greatest Showman. They're doing a musical that's going to be
this is
coming to London.
definitely a you thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. It. Hey man, I have no shame in saying that I did not like everyone had nothing to do with musicals for a long time. Now I've seen a couple things on Broadway myself, but I
I'm
love The
going in
Greatest.
November.
I love what
I'm going to watch Lion King in November for.
in New York on Broadway or
No, it's
here.
coming here. It's coming here.
Oh, okay. But I love The Greatest Showman as far as the movie goes. I loved watching Hamilton. I need to test myself and see if I can still rap to Guns and Chips or not. But yeah. So now the Marvel news was also just Disney news. I think that the biggest thing, as far as Marvel is concerned, that has to be talked about is their biggest thing that's coming out this year, which is going to be um, Doomsday, and that is because it comes out November 18th, I think. No, 17th. Or no, the 18th is the identified date for Doomsday. But it's that weird thing, how movies released on Thursday, but the release date is on Friday.
Yeah,
So, but Doomsday was their big thing, and they had new footage, which I assume you watched the new trailer, didn't you?
have not intentionally.
Oh, that's right. We've had that conversation. So I think it's still early enough. I did watch the new footage, but I don't think I'm going to watch any more trailers at this point.
I just there's like I'll watch them for the animated stuff but something like that, like I'll probably, if it pops up, I might watch part of it, but I just been kind of skipping over it intentionally.
Inevitably, you'll see it in theaters. Like
Oh yeah,
there'll be something,
yeah.
but they did have new footage for Doomsday, which showed a lot more of the X-Men and
The X Men was what I was really well, and then I do know part of what happens in it, like them showing Shang Chi in the trailer. I loved him. I loved his movie.
we've had that conversation. It's
I'm
so
hoping
slept
that
on.
I'm hoping that he's in this and has a good role in this, and then gets a second one. Is what I'm hoping.
I know. What's funny is
So
Simu Liu did a TikTok the other day. Have you seen the trend of people playing that like Netflix documentary sound, and they sit down in a chair and it's like preparing for my Netflix
mhm,
documentary about, and he did one that was like preparing for a Netflix documentary about why my character hasn't been heard from in 10 years or however long it's been. And I was like, that's valid.
yeah.
But yeah, the biggest news, what I would say that came out of the Marvel was the X-Men casting.
And
And
the one in particular,
oh man, it so first off, everybody has said that I've heard some people who are not super invested in all the Marvel lore, they're like, why are they casting X-Men? They already have all these characters. We've seen the Doomsday trailer. It's like, dude, they're showing us the OG X-Men characters in Doomsday. because something bad is going to happen. They are now going to build their own X-Men universe. That's why we have this casting. Now, they announced so Sadie Sink, okay, look. It has been long enough. If you are listening to this podcast, I assume you have gone to see Spider-Man Brand New Day. It is also all over social media, so this is not a spoiler. It is a spoiler, but you should not be upset. You should have seen the movie or seen the TikToks. So Sadie Sink is kind of the first and main one that got brought up. And that's because Sadie Sink is playing Jean Grey. And so he played Jean Grey in Brand New Day. That was the big caveat of my build up explaining Sadie Sink. Then they announced Kit Connor, who I will say, most of these I don't really know anything that they're from, but Kit Connor was announced as Cyclops. Samara Weaving, she was the first one that leaked that she's playing Emma Frost, and I know everybody's
The
very excited about
the
that.
Rogue casting I thought was actually pretty
Man,
good too.
I'm getting there. That's my favorite one. I'm building up to my favorite one. Hold on. So then you had Christopher Abbott as Professor X, which I know a lot of people apparently are very skeptical of, which I'm not mad at people's skepticism. Like, I understand, but it's just not something that I'm overly worried about. Then they announced Maya Boyd as Storm, which I know a lot of people were fan casting her and to be Storm. Now, as I am talking, I'm trying to figure out, but of course, my computer's not going to agree with me. Um, okay, yeah, she is not who I thought she was, but that's who's going to be the new Storm that everyone's excited about. Yes, okay. My favorite casting, because I feel like your favorite casting is the next one, which I was saving for last. My favorite casting was Indy Navarrete as Rogue. Like, I am, I jumped on that obsession FOMO hype train and was blown away by that movie. And Indy has been all over my For You page, and she is like one of like very into all the same things that all of us are. She's just really, really cool. Like when I saw her at the Jackass premiere, that was legit. But apparently, everybody thought she was going to get cast as Mystique because that's apparently what she wanted to play. But seeing her as Rogue, I think that's going to be really awesome. Um, but then, yeah, their probably biggest announcement, and he wasn't there, but he was on screen, was your boy. And I say your boy because he's from Star Wars, Ben Solo. Adam Driver got announced to play Mr. Sinister. And, you know, apparently, I guess Kevin Feige and Marvel have been trying to get Adam Driver for like 10 years
I
or
like Adam
something.
Driver a lot.
Oh, so do
So,
I. He is
um,
another
isn't he the good soup dude too? Isn't that his quote?
good soup. Yep.
Good
Yep.
soup.
So I will say something I find interesting, and I think we talked about this when we were playing board games the other night. There's a lot of things circulating on TikTok saying that the reason Marvel was finally able to get Adam Driver is that he's going to make them greenlight the Hunt for Ben Solo movie on the Star Wars side of the house. Obviously, we have no idea if that's true or not, but that would be really cool.
Well, that would make.
Um,
I mean, it would be another thing that they could do. That would be like it'd be like Obi-Wan, which
right.
apparently, which we're not at Star Wars, so I'll wait for Star Wars for that.
Yeah. But
But the next announcement that they had, Marvel wise, um, was Vision Quest. So I don't know. I liked Vision.
yeah,
WandaVision.
I've been hit and miss on the shows in
Yeah.
general. Um, I did like to see James Spader back, who did the voice of Ultron in the movies, because James Spader is really good. Um, but it looks to keep maintaining the kind of goofy WandaVision vibe, which makes sense. I don't know what the relevancy
I
will be.
thought. See, my thing is, WandaVision. I thought was the weirdest thing at first.
I enjoyed WandaVision, but when people say it's like the best show that they've done, like I personally am kind of like, well, I don't know about that. It was great, enjoyed it, but I haven't kept up on the shows as much as I should. And it comes out January of 27, so it's not anything that's like Doomsday relevant per se. Um, but the same thing goes with um, it's I don't think it's canon to the MCU because it's animated, but they also announced a new season for Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, which
Well,
I
you can
wanted
kind
to
of do the
watch
next
that.
two. You can kind of do the next two together. But so you have the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, but then they have the kid Spider-Man, the Marvel Spidey and his friends, which is another one that my son loves. Like you can ask,
Well, and
like,
that's the thing with Marvel Spidey and his amazing friends. It is apparently a huge deal, and you mentioned this earlier. How when they do their TV shows, they're generally a couple seasons and then they move on. This show is 7 seasons in, apparently, or this is going to be its seventh
well,
season.
it's because of what they do. Like they don't even like. I don't know all their names. My wife would be able to tell you better, but like Miles Morales is in the show, kind of, but he goes by Spin in the
Yeah,
show. So like all of them, and like Gwen Stacy's in the show, but she goes by something else.
right,
Um,
right.
I don't remember what it is, but
But yeah, there's that one, and then yeah, the Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, which I think is supposed to directly pay homage to the '90s cartoon. But I guess that was they teased the first glimpse of Venom in that, and that comes out January of 27. I don't think Spidey and His Amazing Friends they gave a date for, but it'll probably be next year. I mean, it's
yeah.
just one of those animated shows.
So, but going on to the next thing, before we get into the movies that are actually released, what I was going to say is, so now we're going to jump into Star Wars. So the next thing, I read something today. Apparently, Ewan McGregor is trying to get a season 2 of Obi-Wan. I read, and he's trying to make it to where he's trying to find Yoda, basically. Like after, because Obi-Wan was like right after, uh, I guess it was 3, and then it's supposed to be like then he from what I read, they want it to be where he goes from there and attempts to find Yoda, because at the time all the Jedi split, whatever. Like the Jedi's are all gone. Like what I'm
Uh,
talking about.
no,
So that's what I read.
yeah, it sounds like he very much loves the character, and
Hmm.
he went to Disney with an idea. And I will say, and I'm not
So
on the
have you read this too?
yes, I saw the TikTok, and you know better than me, but it sounded like what he's wanting to do is he's wanting the Obi-Wan TV show to essentially fill in the gaps between 3 and 4.
That's
Like
what it read to me, is like
that's how I
because
interpreted it.
he's wanting to continue the Obi-Wan show and basically fill in what, because there's been a lot about what did Obi-Wan do between 3 and 4.
Yeah, like when it ended
What
and then
happened at the
when
end
he
of 3?
shows up with Luke,
Yeah.
what yeah.
So they're trying now. From what I read and what he's saying, he wants to fill it. I liked the Obi-Wan show. It was very
Oh,
slow at times. It was slow
yeah,
at
I
the
enjoyed it.
beginning, but it was a good show. So I've read that he wants to basically fill in and make it to where Obi-Wan became Ben.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you get what I'm saying.
No, yeah. So that'll be and that wasn't a D23 thing, but it's been coming out since D23. The two biggest Star Wars announcements to come out of the event though was Ahsoka season
Both
2.
were things that we knew were happening, but now there's dates on everything, and they've showed
Exactly.
a little bit more.
I think the dates were probably the biggest thing because people knew about both of these,
Hmm.
but they had no idea on dates. But Ahsoka season 2, it's hitting January,
Well,
which is
and
great.
Ahsoka season 2 was already supposed to be out, but the CG backed it up.
Yes, yes.
I think it was
Which,
actually supposed to come out this month,
well,
and it got
I'm
back.
glad people are pumping the brakes because I think anyone who is anyone can agree that CG in the last 5 years seems to have taken a dip. When you go back and look at OG Transformers or some of the earlier Marvel, and you look at some of the recent CG, I think people have gotten too rushed, and we're starting to see that cram culture in film that we see all the time in gaming. But January of 27, They released a trailer as well. And look, my whole thing, like I have to say, I think Ahsoka is my favorite Star Wars thing going on right now. Being someone who is not as deeply in not enshrouded, but entangled with the lore.
Ahsoka's fantastic.
Oh man,
Ahsoka
I
looks
love
really
it.
good.
Well, and like I said, I'm a huge fan of Rosario Dawson. I mean, I hope she comes to a con here in town at some point so I can meet her. Because obviously, yes, she's in Ahsoka, but I love
Well,
her in Clerks and all kinds of other stuff. She was also, we've talked about it. She was also in The Rundown, that movie with The Rock and Shaw William Scott that we liked. Um, but that was one of the big ones. The other big Star Wars announcement was Starfighter.
which again, it's the date is the big
That
thing that
that
they
was the
announced.
big thing. Yeah.
Well, the date, if I remember right, this is the first time they actually announced his name and who his character was, and then they showed his jacket that he's going to be wearing in the movie with the symbol.
Yep, yep. So it's a Sean Levy and Ryan Gosling collab. And Sean Levy, I know people are skeptical on Sean Levy, but he directed several peak episodes of Stranger Things. He directed famously Deadpool and Wolverine, which I love. Um, we know Ryan Gosling can do pretty much anything. But yeah, then the name and the date were the two big things. May of 27, so next year. His name is Cade Oberon. That's a pretty cool name. And they did have a teaser, but that's one of the things that they only showed there. Like it hasn't leaked
One of the
online yet,
reasons why I want to go.
right? And I will say, I don't know. Have you seen the TikTok where Sean Levy tells the story about Tom Cruise? He went to dinner
No,
apparently with Tom Cruise, and they were having a conversation. He was talking about filming Starfighter, and he, just a throwaway comment, hey, if you ever want to come to set, let me know. And he scurried off. And like 3 days later, Tom Cruise called him and said, hey, where are you filming at? And he told him, he said, can my helicopter land there? And he himself flew his helicopter, landed on set of Starfighter, and apparently hung out. And from what I read, also filmed a scene, like got behind camera and filmed a scene of Starfighter. So just Tom Cruise showing up in his own
it's a
helicopter.
very Tom Cruise thing to
It's
do.
very Tom Cruise, right? So
Tom Cruise wouldn't. It's like Tom Cruise is a pilot, you know.
right, yeah, exactly. Now,
Let's save this part for last.
yeah, we got to jump
Let's
down
go
to the
ahead and do the
random.
random stuff. Let's do the random stuff. So, a couple of the things they did was they added the legends. So that's something they do every year. Like I said at the beginning of this, they do three major.
I was gonna ask, do they do the Disney Legend inductees every
Mhm.
year?
Yeah,
Okay.
there's it's like a Hall of Fame vote. Like there's so many Hall of Fame votes that you can get. Like there's certain things they do. The only one that they missed out on that I think needs to be in there is oh, what's his name? Ron Cummings, I think is his name. It's the guy that voices Pooh.
Well,
Um,
so I think it's fun. It's Jim Cummings.
is it Jim Cummings?
I will
I couldn't
tell
remember his
you,
first name.
no. So obviously, there's no official reason as to why he hasn't been inducted. But in 2019, um, he had like some really, I don't, and this is why I think there's an issue, but I don't think there's any convictions. But he has a slew of allegations against him. As it relates to like domestic assault and abuse,
Yeah,
and
and I read that, but I mean we go by the thing, and you're innocent until proven guilty. I'm not saying he didn't
right,
do it.
but we know how Disney operates.
Yeah, well, that's what I was
I
saying.
think that's probably why we
I
haven't seen him
guess
inducted yet.
yeah, but I guess my thing with it is like he's done.
Over
I
1,500
think
voices, I
as I say,
think.
it's 1,500 voices, including Winnie the Pooh. Like so, but talking about some of them that made it, Lin Manuel Miranda, love the dude. Dude is fantastic.
If
Alan,
I see Disney releasing a movie and it says music by Lin Manuel, I'm like, peak,
yeah, it's gonna
peak.
be great. Directed a ton. I mean, of course, he's Hamilton. Um,
Yep,
fantastic. One that I was actually surprised he's already got in. The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. I'm really
agreed.
surprised he got in as fast as he did, but I think it's because one of who he is. Um, two, he was very, very, very good in both Moana movies. Like he
Well,
was insane as
and
Maui.
and I believe he was the one who spearheaded the live action happening because I mean
I
Moana is
think
a movie.
the live action Moana happened way faster than I ever thought it would.
Agreed, and I think it's because of Dwayne Johnson, The Rock. I was also surprised that he got inducted because I mean he's only been in Moana as far as I know, and that's it.
Um,
I think right.
I
He hasn't
feel
been in anything
like
else.
the animated movies, yes, but I feel like I read that he's been in some of the live action movies he's been in are now under the Disney umbrella.
Oh, Jungle Cruise was
Oh
also
yeah, Jungle
him.
Cruise. Yeah, Jungle
Yep,
Cruise, which
yep.
was also a really good movie. That was a
Yes,
fantastic movie.
Dude, him and Emily Blunt, great,
Yeah.
outstanding.
Um,
Now I
then you
will
had,
say, also in Moana, but he's another one like Jim Cummings, who he's voiced so much stuff, and I think you know more about him than I do. But Alan Tudyk,
yeah. So yes and no. I know the name. He's in a lot of movies. Moana, Wreck-It Ralph, Big Hero 6. He's in Ice Age. He was in Rogue One.
yeah,
Um,
he did the robot in Rogue
yeah,
One, didn't he?
yeah.
And I will
Uh,
say,
Zootopia.
When I see Alan Tudyk, I think of A Knight's Tale. That was that movie with Heath Ledger and Paul Bettany, but Alan Tudyk was also in there. But yeah, he does in Moana. He does the daggone chicken.
Yeah. So he's very very. I mean, he's a good name. And
Oh
then
yeah,
Anne Hathaway, like we've already talked about. So
the goat.
Anne
I mean,
Hathaway's Anne Hathaway. So
she's great.
um,
I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to tell you this right now. Anne Hathaway can also sing very well. Like she did Les
mhm.
Mis and a couple other things. And there's a viral clip online when she was on the Kelly Clarkson show singing to "Since You've Been Gone." That's great. Anne Hathaway either needs to voice a Disney princess or do a live action Disney. And I know she's in the Princess Diaries, but you know what I'm referring to when I say a
Yeah.
Disney princess, you know. Um, to that point,
But
actually, outside of the Legends, they had the Disney Princess
which we kind of,
concert.
I think we kind of talked about that earlier a little bit. But like what they did was they brought every big princess
They're
out, like
animated and they're
in their
live.
live action, and they had like the one with it was what did they sing? I can't remember what they sung, but it was all of them, and like Tiana's animated. If they do a live action
Dude, Princess and the Frog
Crystal
live
Frog,
action.
th- her voice needs to play the actual princess, like needs to play Tiana.
Yeah,
Like
and I don't think they've done that yet.
fantastic. No.
I don't think they've done a scenario where the animated voice turned into the live action actress.
Well,
And
and
I
even
agree.
the other one, like, so I know I didn't watch the entire thing, but I've seen clips of everything. So like Jodie Benson coming out
Yeah, with Halle Bailey.
and singing, amazing, you know.
Did you see where Jodie Benson sang the Ursula song instead of the Ariel song? Poor pitiful souls or whatever.
Oh no, I didn't, but I did
Oh
see
dude, it's awesome. It is
one
really awesome.
the other one. So the lady that plays Belle came out and
Yes.
sang oh, what is the song name?
It was the one from Princess and the Frog, I think, wasn't it?
No, no. Well, yeah, but I don't remember but anyway, like it was just cool seeing the original princess voices coming out and reprising the songs and stuff. It was
Yes.
really cool.
Yeah,
So,
and yeah, and I will say that I hope Princess and the Frog gets the next treatment. Also, fun fact, in case you didn't know or anyone else didn't know, Jodie Benson actually voiced Eva in Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, but she had to
mhm.
do it under a different name because of SAG-AFTRA rules and stuff like that. And it apparently stayed hidden formally until Metal Gear Delta came out. So, fun fact of the day for you on that
So
one.
yeah, but that's kind of the random stuff.
Yeah,
Now
the
let's get
last
into
yeah,
the what's listed. You'll learn about it where it's ranked in when we do our side quest. But Kingdom Hearts.
yeah, so that was I mean that was a huge thing. Kingdom Hearts had oodles of stuff and I know, time wise, we're going to kind of rattle through all of the things that kind of came up, but Kingdom Hearts has historically not been a D23 thing.
No, which they're making it was big this year because
They
of
formally
how they did
announced
it.
it as a billion-dollar property, which was a
Yeah,
big deal.
that was one. The show being hosted by the one and only Cleo Thomas, who wants anything he could do with Kingdom Hearts, or really, and like if for everyone that doesn't know, Cleo Thomas's big thing, he was Zero. He was Hector Zeroni in Holes. So, and
Yep,
he brings it up. He makes comments about it all the time. But
as he should. He was
well,
also the kid in the Rock's Walking Tall movie as
yes.
well.
But he is very very vocal about how much he loves Kingdom Hearts and how much he wants to be a part of it. And it wouldn't have surprised me when he walked out with that Keyblade to that be his actual Keyblades that he one of his that he has at home.
I
Cuz
guarantee it.
he
He
talks
pulled it
about
right off
collecting
the
them all the
wall.
time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I bet he pulled it
So
right off the wall.
that wouldn't surprise me. But just talking about it like everything they showed. So they originally announced this on the first day and showed like a 30-minute teaser and stuff like that. And then they did the panel the next day. Well, when they did the panel, it went from a 30-second teaser to a 4-minute trailer,
Yeah,
which was
that
crazy.
man, and to get as much like what was it 2 months ago? We got a trailer at the Nintendo
A very,
Direct.
very, very, very small clip
Yeah, at the Nintendo
in June.
Direct,
Yeah.
but they closed out their direct with it, which was insane. And then to get what turned into a 4 minute long trailer that included
Yeah.
gameplay was
Um,
absolutely insane.
so announcing the new world is one thing. Coco
Coco,
being
yep,
being
which
in
is
the
another
game.
reason I got to watch that movie.
Yeah. So that playing as King Mickey, that was cool.
That looked
Um,
really cool seeing that
yeah, that
gameplay.
looked really cool. Um, the confirmed 2027 release date, like it is
How
100% coming
many
out in
times
2027.
did they confirm
They
during
said
that
it
panel?
well, and what I'm building up to, so confirming the 2027 release date, and we know it's confirmed because the man who confirmed it.
Yeah. The fact that they
So
had Tetsuya Nomura in attendance, that
I don't
apparently now I know Tim, who is like that is his Metal Gear. I didn't realize at first how big of a deal it was that he was there.
well, I mean, because of who he is, like I mean, he works at Square Enix, obviously, so you would think he'd be out. But from my understanding and my research, I don't even think he really comes to any Square Enix events. Like he just doesn't do it. And he was there for this. And like he even made a comment during the panel. Oh yeah, I didn't tell anybody intentionally. I was told not to tell anybody. So I didn't tell anybody. So
Yeah, it
that was
that was a big deal. And then I will say, and you and I texted during this about how cool it was, but during the
yeah.
panel that they did, they had Haley Joel Osment and David Gallagher, who does the voices of Riku and Sora, like act out the ending of Kingdom Hearts 2, which was so insanely cool to see on stage.
That
Like,
that right there was one of the coolest things that I have seen at any con. Like and
and,
it's something
and to
so
do that
small that
live.
you wouldn't think about, but
Well,
that
when
was
you
awesome.
yeah, because you text me like, dude, this is so cool to watch. I'm like, dude, it reminds me of those viral clips you see online where they recorded the Dragon Ball voice actors in their booth. It's like we're seeing something we're not allowed to see. I mean, it's just so cool. And like I know I found myself closing my eyes at times and just trying to visualize it. Um, but outside of the game stuff, like there was a whole bunch. But they also announced that they're doing an anime coming to Disney Plus. Now it's not going to be Sora focused. It looks to be some other Keyblade wielder, but that has the potential to be absolute fire as well. Um, Now, of course, we already know about the trilogy remasters coming in. Is that October? We were just talking about the dates the
Yeah.
other day.
It
Yeah.
it's October.
And, so for folks who want to do a replay of them, now I personally, after all this news, I looked up a recap of everything up to Kingdom Hearts 3, and I'm going to replay 3. But I
Well,
know
you've been
you,
playing it because you sent me the other day. You sent
the
the
screenshot from Toy
which
Story World,
yeah,
and I know you're going to be replaying
which
all
was
of
one
it
of the new additions of Kingdom Hearts 3. That was the
in
world.
3.
That's what I like about Kingdom Hearts is they always try to incorporate one, usually two worlds that haven't been
Brand
in the
new.
other ones. So like
Yeah.
I think three's was Toy Story and I think Monstropolis
Well, and
was
Frozen
not. Oh no, that's what it was. It was three and
and
Frozen.
Arendelle.
Um, but I think because I
I
can't
think
remember if Metropolis was in 2.
yeah,
Maybe it was.
I think Monster or I think they do Big Hero
Pirates of
6
the
also.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That's right. So,
So, but yeah, a
but,
lot of Kingdom Hearts stuff too. Holy crap. So
and
much.
then, of course, just a mention, but Hayden Panettiere
Yes.
passed because that was the original voice of Kyrie.
Yep.
So,
Yep. Yeah, that she did Kyrie in 1 and 2, and I don't know what other spin-offs maybe, but it got handed over for sure in 3 to oh my gosh, I just had her name and it jumped right out of my head. Allison Stoner
yeah.
is who does it now. She did a very heartfelt tribute on Instagram to that. And I know there's some shenanigans kind of enshrouding this right now, but anytime someone who is a voice of our childhood passes away, it's kind of a thing, you know.
Yeah, because she was,
Um,
and not even that. We were talking about what was it? 2 episodes ago when we were talking about movies, and we talked about her because she was in. You were talking about Remember the Titans,
yep,
um,
my favorite sports movie.
and
Yeah,
she's the daughter of Remember the Titans. So
yep,
yeah.
yep. All right, so that covers the bulk of the big things from D23. But let's jump into the side
Our
quest where
first
we're
side
going to talk.
quest.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the park announcement. So let's jump into bonus level. So bonus level today, it's continuing with the D23 conversation, but it is a
Um,
focus on the park announcements.
yeah, and this is going to move a lot faster because we're kind of just going to go through and just talk about like just the quick things about it because this is something like if you don't go to the parks, which we had that big park episode, the main focus we wanted to do was the media and the entertainment and stuff like that. This is still entertainment, but it's a little bit different. So the big thing that everyone's talked about is the Disneyland overhaul for Tomorrowland. That's one of them,
And
which
that
is cool.
and obviously Disneyland, that's the one in California.
Correct.
And I guess it's just been super outdated
Well,
and they're
and
overhauling it.
yeah, there's a lot that they're doing with it. Like I don't think I've read somewhere that that they haven't done a update in it in literal years. So like they do pretty good about trying to keep like not all of them, but like California and Disney World, they try to do like they Star Wars is in both, and they both have the same rides in both, and they have. Do you see what I'm saying? So like, but what they're doing now is like Disney World Star Wars is like it's all newer age, and then they're going back to the prequels for over like they have
California
like
for Hollywood.
For Hollywood for Disneyland. Sorry. So, but that's one. But that's one of the things. The next thing is the big expansion that's coming to Magic Kingdom, which I'm really excited for because it's actually a whole new area. It's not a remake. Like they did remakes, so they're doing a remake of some of the area, but they're actually this is a full new area, if that makes sense, of
Oh
Disney
yeah. Well,
villains. So like they're adding a whole new section to the park.
and of course Disney World, that's closest to us. So, and that's the one you go to usually every year.
Yeah. So like we've already got our trip planned for next year. So we're
And
going in
that's the
October of next year.
Villain Land thing, right? Is that what you're
Yeah, that's
talking about?
Disney villains. Yeah, the Disney villains. So they've already they not only did they've already we already knew about the expansion. They confirmed that I think last year, but this year they showed a little bit about the rides that are going in it. They're putting a Maleficent coaster. They're putting the Magic Mirror themed ride in it. And then so those two are obviously going to be there, but they've already showed Cruella came out. The original Cruella from the live action movie came out to
Oh
talk
yeah,
about.
I forgot they had Glenn Close
Um,
come out for that.
yeah, Dr. Facilier. So what they're doing is, I don't know if you knew this, but well, no, you went to this Not So Scary. So when they do Not So Scary, these are all characters that are at Not So Scary, but now you're gonna for the villains thing, but now they're gonna be there all the time in the villains land.
Yeah, which is really cool.
So that's really cool. And then next they're doing the Journey into Imagination with Fig. Oh, they're doing the oh my mind just went blank on his name. Uh
Figment, the dragon
yeah,
guy.
no, that's not what I'm talking about though. The guy Neil Patrick Harris came out
Oh
as
yes,
Dreamfinder. This came out
that's
as
right.
Dreamfinder, which is a big thing. So that's where the Figment, like what they're doing with the rework of it. That's the Dreamfinder coming out, and Neil Patrick Harris come out as him and stuff like that. So now did you know about the Monstropolis and what they're doing? What they're taking took out Muppets?
Yes, yeah. I had heard that, which makes sense.
Do you
And
remember where it was at? Because I know you went to Disney World. I know you went to Hollywood
I
Studios.
went to
Do you
Hollywood
remember?
Studios to go to Galaxy's Edge. I don't remember where the Muppets
So
were.
when you're walking through where they're putting this, okay? So if you're going through Galaxy's Edge, my favorite part. This is going to sound really dumb, but my favorite part of this park is when you walk through the caves to go to Galaxy's Edge to go
Yes,
to
I was
like.
a big fan of that. It was like out of
I hit
reality
those.
into
I
Star
hit
Wars.
those. You hit those caves, and it's like, oh my god, this is amazing. Well, right before that, off to like if you're walking through those to the left, that's where all the Muppet stuff was. There was a big aisle of like just giant alleyway full of Muppet stuff. They're expanding on the back of that, and that is now going to be Monstropolis.
Gotcha, gotcha. Okay,
So
that
that's where
kind
that's
of
going to
makes
be.
sense.
And they showed just with Monstropolis, they showed the new restaurant that's coming out, and they showed a little bit about the ride.
Is it a coaster
Which
too?
it is a actual coaster, like it
Oh,
is
okay.
going to be a coaster, like you're suspended in air, like
Oh
coaster.
gosh, which means I wouldn't ride it, so that's
Yeah.
fair.
So, but it's an actual coaster. So in Kanto, they're making a new area in Animal Kingdom, which is where Encanto's going in Walt Disney World. So that's what that's gonna be doing. So it's kind of like, and I think they do a new show. So if you're going now, they're doing
And that's the villain thing is coming to Animal Kingdom too, right?
no villains going to Magic Kingdom. Animal
Magic
Kingdom
Kingdom.
is
Gotcha.
yeah. Animal
Okay.
Kingdom is Encanto, which makes sense because they're doing the thing with I don't remember what the youngest kid's name is, but he's the one that it's focused around because it's animals and he controls animals.
Right. Right.
So
Gotcha. That makes sense.
um now this is something that's just cool. Did you see the updated carousel?
I did. Um,
With
I
and all the
what
characters and stuff that are in it?
Well, what's funny is you see how I have in all caps voiced by. I didn't expect that, and that's what impressed me the most is who's going to be voicing it with Jamie Lee Curtis and Bryan Cranston. Like those two are amazing, just actors' voices. Like I didn't know that was going to be a thing. That's really cool.
So now this is where I get where I kind of this part of this is just me knowing like or going off of what I've read, because I don't know much about Walt Disney London, um, or not London. I think it's actually Paris is what that one is. Oh, that's Disneyland. The Remember Dreams coming to the True Return
Oh
to
yeah,
Walt Disneyland. Um,
yes,
so I don't know much about that, but the
yeah. Sorry,
animatronic.
my abbreviations were domestic. WDW for Walt Disney World and WDL for Disneyland. I spelled
Yeah.
out the international stuff.
So the animatronic it looked really cool, but being in Disneyland Paris for Scar.
Oh, the Scar one. I
Yeah.
saw that. I'm always impressed by how good their animatronics look.
That's what my thing is. I mean, they were talking about that. I think the animatronic. Have you rode the Avatar boat ride?
No, because that's at Animal Kingdom. I've never been to Animal Kingdom.
Oh, okay. So the boat ride, they have an animatronic at the end, and I think I read somewhere it's like a $500 million animatronic or something like that, like, just with what's in it,
Was it just a giant Navi person?
but it's life size.
Oh wow.
Like
Okay.
it's
No.
legit. Like it's super cool. So, but that's one of them. Um, and then the Hyperspace Mountain closing. Oh, I did see it's closing, but it's going to reopen with the original stuff.
Yeah,
It's
I
just being
guess.
restored, and they
Yeah,
do that every year where they restore certain rides. Like I think they're supposed to do. I think do you have it on here?
yeah. It's number 11. They're doing. So they're taking the hyperspace mountain at Disneyland Paris and taking it back to the OG, and then they're making a new called Space Mountain Earthrise at Disneyland Tokyo.
Yeah, and then the new attraction coming to Walt Disney World with Indiana Jones and then Harrison Ford being the model. Like they're which I don't people were making a big deal about that. I don't know why. I mean, he is Indiana Jones. So like
Yeah, but I guess there's something that's been there before, or something that's
yeah.
not, or they've had actors obviously, but an animatronic that's going to have his face, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. So, but that of course the new rides which there are two rides I don't see on here. The new there's a Spider-Man ride going in Disney Shanghai and another one going in Disney Hong Kong.
I must have missed that one. Okay.
But there's two new or Avengers ride going in one, and then a Spider-Man ride going in the other. I don't remember which
Oh,
one's on
okay,
which.
okay. Yeah, I must have missed those.
Yeah, so those are happening overseas as well. We've already talked about Space Mountain, the Sugar Rush going into Disneyland Tokyo, and then the Smuggler's Run and Fortnite combo. I don't really know what's going on with that.
What is so funny is I put that down and then I saw it on the next day. I guess if you go ride Smuggler's Run,
You get a
it,
Fortnite code or something.
and you get like a unique skin
Yeah.
in Fortnite, which is a big deal because there are people who will sell skins that are like
Oh yeah.
hyper exclusive, apparently. So that's a
Um.
unique collaboration. It's like the first of its kind to do something like that.
So which and then the last thing which I've thought about this and I talked about this. I'm gonna try to go on this when it comes out with the
I'm
boys.
shocked you haven't been yet, but it's
Well,
probably
no,
a
no,
good
no,
thing
no.
you haven't
Well,
gone yet.
this one in particular
Yeah.
because of what it is. Um, but they're making a new cruise ship, which they do. The new cruise ships, they usually they're trying to make their fleet bigger, so they're trying to get. I think I read that they're trying to get like it's like 9, and I think they're up to like 5. I think so, but this one is full on Toy Story and Moana themed, is what it's supposed to be.
Yeah,
But
so
it comes in
it's
2029.
probably a good thing you haven't done one of those yet, so that
Oh,
can be
I've
your
looked
first one.
into it. They're just very expensive. Like these are, eight. I think it was like $8 or $9,000 for a 7-day cruise or something like that. That's not counting getting there and stuff. So they're expensive. So, but that basically sets it up for. I know we kind of went through all the announcements fast, but this was one of them. We just wanted to kind of talk about the parks too, because the parks they have their own press conference, like they have their own showing. So
Right. I mean, the fact that they had their own thing dedicated to the parks, I mean, for that many updates and changes is insane. Um, I mean, I was very impressed to see all of that stuff. Even, I mean, and it's not just, I mean, yes, D23 takes place in the US, but they obviously talked about all of their parks.
well, and so that's
Um,
what I like about D23 and why I'm trying to go because it's not just media. It is everything to do with Disney. And we love the parks. We go to the parks. I go once a year like we've talked about.
yeah.
That's what's so cool about it.
Well,
So,
and there will be a very obvious distinction between the both of us when we jump into this next side quest, which is now loading. So now loading, we're going to rank not necessarily in order like we alluded to, but our 10 favorite announcements from D23. And yeah, I think that's probably a good idea not to try and go in order. We just talk about our highlights. So I'm going to have to use my fingers to keep track of mine because I figure we'll just go back and forth. Like I'll talk about, my favorite announcement and then you talk about yours and we'll keep going back and forth till we get to 10, but I got to use my fingers to keep track.
hey,
Um,
good thing you don't have to go with your toes.
yeah,
So
right.
why don't you go first?
I am going to say, and I know Tim might be a little upset with me. Again, this isn't in order. This is just the 10 that we liked. I'm going to say the X-Men casting news as is kind of the first thing that comes to mind for me.
So, well, my first, so I do kind of like, I have a definite one. Like, so I'll wait and do my one first, do my one last. But, the Ahsoka date because I liked like we said when we talked about it, I liked that. I love the show. So them and it got pushed back because it was supposed to be one of the releases this year. So I was very excited about that.
Yeah. I'm gonna my next one. I'm actually gonna go with because it was so unknown to me, and I know that my son will like watching it, even if he rewinds it and fast forwards it 1,000 times. The Bluey movie for me.
Fair enough. So mine was like I said, I really like the Lilo and Stitch live action. So them announcing a second one and bringing Angel, I'm a fan.
Yep. Yep. I get that. All right. Well, I don't. I'm not gonna wait much longer before I say it. I'm going to say the Kingdom Hearts 4 game details for my next one.
Fair enough. Mine is going to be Kingdom Hearts, the anime.
Man, it has potential to be
Fantastic.
insane. Yeah,
Well, and you have a Disney budget behind it,
exactly.
so
Exactly. All right. My next one, I'm gonna say, let's go ahead and get an obvious one out of the way. But Doomsday. I mean, it was the
Well,
new footage was great, you know, and I mean, we only got a few more months, so
mine was also Doomsday.
makes sense.
So
Makes
I
sense.
had Doomsday on here. Like I said, it was probably higher up the list, but that's one of them that I did have on here.
Uh, my fifth one, I'm gonna say because I'm because the music. My son listens to the music a bunch, so I am really hyped for it. Live action Tangled, like to see them in their costumes and that they're on site in Spain, like that. I think it has the potential to be their biggest live action film.
Yeah. So, well, my next one is Coco 2 because, like I said, I really, really liked the first Coco. So,
Yeah, and after we played Villainous the other night with your new Coco villain, like it is just driving home the point that I need to watch this movie.
yeah.
My next one I will go with I'm gonna say I don't want to steal that one. I mean, even though we have plenty that are the same, but I'll let you talk about it. I'll say as far as announcements go, Lin Manuel Miranda's speech for his induction into the Disney Legends. It was a play Hamilton that was really cool. I don't know if you saw his actual
Did you see
speech.
where they rapped where the guy was singing and was singing to him and
Yes.
mixed Hamilton and yeah and
Yep. Yep.
Moana.
Absolutely. Yeah. But his
So
induction speech was great.
yeah. My next one is Villains Land. So
That's going to
I'm
be
very
really
excited.
cool.
With me going to the parks as much as I do, it's going to be. I'm very excited for that. Like it's a whole new area, which especially because Magic Kingdom's always your busiest park. So having that, very excited for.
Yep. Uh, I think I'm on 7. I will say again with Kingdom Hearts, but I'm going to say the panel where they did the voice acting. As far so it's not an
Yeah,
announcement, but a moment from D23 when Haley and David were talking, doing that last scene was absolutely insane. Like that was we
yeah.
talked about it already, but that was a really cool thing. I liked that one too.
So my next one is, which I should have talked about it in the park section on the last side quest, them redoing the Yeti. If you've ever rode Expedition Everest, that is a big deal.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah,
Now
the
that's at Disney World, right?
yes, yes,
Gotcha. Yeah. See, I figured you'd have park stuff thrown in there. Like I don't care much about the park stuff. It's cool, but I don't care much for
yeah.
them. I'll go ahead for my eighth one and say the Starfighter announcements, mainly
That's
because
mine.
I loved Deadpool and Wolverine. Sean Levy, he does great needle drops. I think it's going to be really cool.
Yeah, that's what my next one was going to be. Was that so? Um, so what's yours?
Um, you know what? My number 9 and number 10, and then you can do your last two. My 9 and 10, I'm going to give it to Hexed. So because of having Haley Steinfeld, Walton Goggins, and Jodie Foster, I feel like that has potential to be absolutely insane. And then my number 10 spot, I will give to the performance during the Disney Princess concert by the original voice of Moana. I'm gonna try and say her name here. I literally looked up pronunciation. Uh, Ali Pravilio. I don't think I said that right. But her performance, I loved all of them. But hers,
She is a great human being as well.
the crowd work and everything that she was doing as
So
well. Yeah,
when Moana first came out, they had I don't remember if it was a Make a Wish or it was just her doing an event. There was a little girl and something happened and they went to an event and she came out of the back and sang the How Far You'll Go
how far
for
I'll go. Yeah,
yeah, and that was fantastic. So, well, my number 9 is actually the announcement of the new cruise ship because of the theming. Like I was very, very huge on it. And I mean, my kid loves Toy Story. I love Toy Story growing up. It's funny. I don't know if Chase is probably, I don't even know if Chase has actually seen it. I have the Woody that I had when I was growing up. I still have that.
I did not know that. Doesn't surprise me, but I
That
did
is
not
one of the
know that.
few things that there's two things that really I kept from my childhood. That's one of them, and then there's a stuffed panda that my grandma bought me when I was 5. I still have both of those. They're the few keepsakes that I've kept forever.
Uh, I,
Well,
I would expect a slew of photos and videos if you all go on that cruise.
yeah. So, and then this is my overall favorite, and it is now I'll say it is Kingdom Hearts. The Kingdom Hearts announcements were the best things that came from this, in my opinion. Outside of, I mean, I'm very excited for the movies and stuff, but the Kingdom Hearts stuff, man, I played so much. Like I remember, I took off when Kingdom Hearts 3 came out, and for like 2 days just to sit at home and play Kingdom Hearts. I will do it when Kingdom Hearts 4 comes out next year. I will take off. Like if they had a release date, I would probably take off that week and be off all week.
I have no doubt you'll put in for the time as soon as it gets confirmed, though.
Oh, I
Like,
will. I will. So
yeah, yeah. So, well, I think that's going to do it for our side quest. That's our 10 items that were the most hyped that we got during D23. Let's go ahead and head
yeah,
into the save point.
yeah.
Well, there was a whole lot of shit that got announced
There was a
and
lot that
experienced.
happened, and this it's probably what do we say now? Like an hour and a half, probably.
Yeah, I think we're this is yeah, about an hour 30. By the time we wrap this, probably be about an hour. And I mean, but that's the thing. These events that happen,
These are the ones which we'll go
I
ahead and bring it up.
know,
We're
I
gonna go ahead and bring it
know.
up. What is it? When is it's at
Well,
the end of the month, right?
well, so this episode's going to be coming out on the 25th. So we're recording on Sunday the 23rd. This is going to drop on the 25th at midnight. And ironically enough, on the 25th, it's 1:30 Eastern time. So it's like 7:30 German time. Gamescom is going to be happening. So I know I said that our next episode is going to be Dragon Ball focused.
But
I
depending on what
mean,
happens, we might pivot.
yeah, we might pivot again, Ross style, to talking about what comes up at Gamescom. As of right now, what's on the radar for Gamescom is opening with Final Fantasy VII Revelations and the new Witcher DLC. The fact they're opening with that, dear Lord, what else are we going to get? So,
Yeah.
so we did Disney this week. Of course, we always appreciate you hanging out with us and listening to us talk through this stuff. And obviously, today wasn't about nostalgia at all, aside from reminiscing about experiences tied to the new announcements. But always reach out to us on the socials or Discord, the email, the midnight release pod at gmail.com, with any kind of feedback or questions or anything like that.
And
Um,
we did bring up in previous episodes that this is one of those things when there's events like this, we may pivot and we're probably going to do an episode on them, a lot of them, just because there's so much new stuff. Because as much as we talk about nostalgia, we still look forward to the stuff that's coming out.
Exactly. And Gamescom is probably because Tokyo Game Show is usually hyper condensed. And there's just a couple big highlights. So I don't see us having to do one for Tokyo Game Show in September. But Gamescom is probably one that may be a whole
Well,
episode. If and the thing is, if it's not a whole episode worth of content, it might be the
we're
side
probably going
quest
to for
that
sure
day.
be it, and it'll be there's a chance it'll be both side quests. Like it'll
You
just
know,
be
right. It'll just be a beefier kind of
yeah.
thing.
Well, and
But
the thing that got me about Gamescom and the reason why we might do it is Chase sent me the video about it, and when he did, Jeff Keighley said, "What did he say? E3's not dead; it's
E3,
just moved to Germany."
yeah, yeah. He said E3 is not dead. It just moved to Germany. And I mean, you could argue Summer Game Fest was kind of like that, but yeah, hey, we will get around to our Dragon Ball episode. As of right now, that's going to be planned for next week, but we might pivot, so we'll see. Whenever we do get to Dragon Ball, it'll be a trio. We're going to bring Howie on for that also. So, but yeah, we always appreciate you hanging out with us, giving us a listen on each of these episodes, the reflections episodes. Yeah, it's always a good time. And today there was a lot of new stuff to talk about.
Yes. So thank you. We appreciate it. So
Yep. And even though we talked new stuff today, the point still stands that some memories are worth lining up for.